I have a dream that one day
The Voices of Blacks. John Locke was an Enlightenment thinker who discussed on natural rights of life, liberty, and property. John Locke believed that everyone is equal to each other and has the same rights. In history, the emergence of the black community in America dates back in the 17th century. Due to demands, the increased production of fruitful crops such as tobacco, cotton, and sugarcanes have forced a group of colored people to do labor in America. Their status was a property to someone, not a human being. Stephanie Smallwood had written a fiction book to describe the general thoughts of the slaves during the Atlantic slave trade. It shares the sense of unfamiliar sea and unimaginable destination for the slaves. In the 19th century, Albury Alston Whitman had wrote his poem Not a Man and Yet a Man as an aim to inspire and increase the number of self-respect, self-control, and self-development of the freedmen. A novel by Frederick Douglass wrote an account of his own life as a slave and his determination to become a free man. This novel is set in the early 19th century. The narrative was one of the most influential works of literature to advocate the abolition of slavery. It represents the critiques and thoughts of the American black slaves. A recent entry into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Black Panther had caused the colored society to yet again be put in the spotlight. This Age of Black Heroes represents thoughtful commentary on the black community in the United States. Though it is said that slavery, oppression, and discrimination against the blacks is a story of the past, the emergence of this new pop culture have caused the question of what happened during the time of the blacks' oppression and civil rights. The Civil War had started due to many factors, and one of them is Uncle Tom's Cabin, written by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Her novel became the worldwide bestseller, and in result, the conflict of slavery became worse in America, as she mentioned issues about political and economic arguments against slavery. Abraham Lincoln, as President of America, said that her book was the cause of Great Civil War. Though the end of the American Civil War in 1865 marks an end to slavery, yet the discrimination faced by the blacks did not end. Next, a historical fiction by Margaret Manolin Michel entitled Gone with the Wind had won the National Book Award in the same year it was published. The setting of the novel was in the American Civil War and the Reconstruction era in Georgia, Southern America. The main focus of the novel was not about the African black people. However, there were still parts of the novel that shows the slavery life during the past. However, it is to believe that the perception of the slave is based on the author's perspective, as her family was a slaveholder. Next, the civil rights movement was a struggle for social justice that took place mainly during the 1950s and 1960s. Literary works have become a beacon of help for references to the chronological events that happened during the movement. A 1960 published novel written by Harper Lee entitled To Kill a Mockingbird had described an accurate and painful representation of social inequality and morality. Invisible Man was hailed as a novel that changed the shape of American literature. It describes one man's lifelong struggle to establish the sense of identity as a black man in America. Allison illustrates the powerful social and political forces that conspire to keep black Americans in their place and denying them the inalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, guaranteed to all Americans. In modern times, the blacks are said to finally have civil rights and experience equality in America. However, Donald Trump is not into it.
You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed.